November 16th, circle the day, one of the biggest games in the continent, Nigeria, DR Congo, to see who locks in for that final position, of course, qualifying for what is the inaugural, the biggest competition of all time in world of football, the World Cup. And what a story it's been from Nigeria. If you have taken note of this, the qualification campaign couldn't have started any worse. Change in management, change behind the scenes, and a change in attitude. Forget the headlines you've heard most recently. On the field, this team is still producing. And Ian, once again, Nigeria has taken another step closer to being the Super Eagles and on the biggest stage.
Yeah, listen, one of the most frustrating games, entertaining games, interesting games, weird games that I've ever seen in a qualification process. It had everything. I thought Gabon were actually going to score a goal. They did eventually get their goal. Didn't expect to see them make a mistake like that, to concede so late in the game. I thought that was it. I thought they were out and Nigeria were through. But then at 1-1, you have the opportunity with Osimhen going through 1v1. You would expect him to stick that one in the back of the net. So then he misses that opportunity and you're thinking, they're going out here, Nigeria. That was the moment right there. 90 plus 12, and he has a chance to close out the game with that, and he misses. I never thought I would ever see a miss like that from someone like him, who's in good form as well. But listen, the qualification process in CAF has been thoroughly entertaining, and this one threw a few surprises. Congratulations to Gabon for obviously putting up a big fight, but Nigeria's quality, I think at the end of the day, although it took a long period of time and extra time to get there, the quality did come through. My biggest thing is I want to see more of this from Nigeria. I want to see it earlier in games and more consistent quality performance.
I tell you who else is agreeing with you because he's nodding his head in the background. That's my boy right there, Mbizo Mzamane. Mbizo, of course, always dressed to impress. I love the fact that you're joining us here, my brother. You need to send me one of these garments. I need one of these garments. Every time you bless the screen, it comes with a smile and something fly. But Mbizo, I want to dive into this one because November 16th is something that's going to make the whole continent pause for a second. DR Congo, Nigeria, give me your takeaways in terms of where they find themselves in this final qualifier.
Yeah, I think, as you guys pointed out, Nigeria really left all their spectacular football until late. And today, they were particularly fluid. I was really, really impressed. And they came out also with a 4-4-2. So Eric Schell is really experimented because generally they've come out with 4-2-3-1. And they just looked superb. The players were floating around all over the place. Osimhen would come deep to collect the ball and make play. Akor was drifting out wide and really making a lot of things happen. And I thought they were superb. And actually, I thought that the way that extra time went is how the first half should have gone. Nigeria was peppering Gabonese goal, I think, from early. And I think they would have been disappointed to not go into halftime already 2-0, maybe 3-0 up. On the other hand, I think that Gabon, again, was extremely courageous. They were able to counterattack, and it was a fantastic game to watch. But like you guys have said, the quality at the end of the day just shone through for Nigeria. In the other game, though, it was exactly the kind of game I would expect. Cagier, tighter. It had a bit more AFCON vibes. I think, it was extremely physical. And I think Cameroon will be extremely disappointed themselves as well. There weren't as many clear-cut chances, I think, in that game. But Cameroon did have a few, especially late. And they'll be extremely disappointed, especially giving up a goal like that. As you said, the ball drops all the way to the floor in the box. It was really nap time, I think, there for Cameroon. And they're just continuing this descent, this decline of Cameroonian football, which saddens me to say because they've been under the tenure of Samuel Eto'o, who for me is a personal idol and, of course, an idol of African football. So to see Cameroon not playing this well is quite sad. But Democratic Republic of Congo has been extremely strong for a number of years now. They may not play the most fluid and spectacular football, but they really know how to get the job done. They're strong, and I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking emotionally and mentally. And we have a huge, huge game on our hands.
Okay, DR Congo impressed me immensely, even pushing Senegal very close all the way in the group stage. And I thought they had a real opportunity. They were not far away from actually qualifying automatically. So now you go into this game. How can potentially they approach this game thinking that they can win the game? So basically what I'm asking you, to not make it easy for you, how on earth can DR Congo get past Nigeria and make it to a World Cup? Obviously, I'm really intrigued how this works out.
Well, if you watch their performances, for example, from AFCON, and they were playing superior teams, I think, for example, in Morocco, you can see that they rely on their defensive solidity. They rely on their strength as a unit. And I think they can really grind down the Nigerians, who only today, for me, have played superb football. Nigeria, as well, has been this kind of team that's been kind of grinding out these results and relying on their talisman to get the goals. Today, the goals were shared a little bit more, which was superb to see. But I think that DR Congo will not fear Nigeria at all, particularly on the basis of their current form during these qualifiers. And again, DRC has shown on the biggest African stage that they can play. They've gotten far in AFCON, and they've played some of the best teams on the continent while doing so. So this is a solid outfit that will come out believing in themselves and actually probably pretty desperate, since the last time that they were at a World Cup was in 1974, and the nation was still called Zaire. So for them, they are also absolutely dreaming. For them, it's not all about the Super Eagles. It's also about the Leopards.
Yeah.
I want to know, in terms of with the Super Eagles, though, they've had so much to manage off the field. We saw the dissent or the protest they had in terms of not wanting to train for funds and payments. How did you manage to see their focus? How was their focus in terms of approaching this game, especially with all of the off-the-field issues?
Yeah, it's difficult to say, because ordinarily you'd say that this is something that would take away from the focus. It would take away from the composure of the team to feel like that they're supported and they can go out there and get the job done, maybe even the motivation. But then on the other hand, these are ongoing issues with Nigeria for, eons now, including, by the way, as far back as when they won in '96 at the Olympics. I've heard lots of stories about how many of the players had to pitch in order for the players to have decent accommodation. So yes, obviously it's an incident that will derail them mentally to a certain extent. But on the other hand, I think they're somewhat accustomed to working under these pressures and the unfortunate management of the NFF, which I'm in no way excusing, but I'm saying that Nigeria has made it through this kind of adversity before, and they're capable of doing it again.